After 7 years of tireless work on Last Epoch, an isometric action role-playing game designed by enthusiasts of the genre, the game is officially launching its 1.0 version on February 21st, 2024. It's an exciting time for 11th Hour Games, from the people who began the company via a thread on Reddit to everyone who has joined the team over the years. For longtime Last Epoch players, those who've been playing the game since it went into early access in 2019, and for new travelers in the world of Eterra, people who've been playing games like Diablo, Path of Exile, and Torchlight Infinite in the lead up to Last Epoch's huge launch. Now, I'm going to pitch you something insane. Something you might not wish to hear. I hopped into Last Epoch essentially blind. Now, of course, like many of you, I watched a few videos on it, knew what the game entailed, and understood it was highly customizable, and believed what many claimed. It was a mix of depth and simplicity. However, I avoided one type of content intentionally. No, not lore spoilers, I didn't have to sidestep those. Nope, not boss fights either. Not a ton of content out there about Last Epoch bossing or strategies yet. My fellow travelers and probably exiles, I forewent all Last Epoch build guides. Every single one. I beckon you do the same. Play Last Epoch on launch in blind Bliss. I know this is an insane pitch for many ARPG players, but hear me out. I have two titanic reasons for this. Let's tackle both super quickly right now. Video games only get to launch their 1.0 versions once. I don't say this to scare 11th Hour Games or remind them what happened to poor Wolfson, Lords of Mayhem. I say this because many of you watching this video are likely going to be experiencing Last Epoch's campaign, itemization, and character customization for the first time imminently. That first experience is a wonderful one. Sure, there are plenty of people who have been playing Last Epoch for years now, but this is probably going to be your first time. Plus, the internet isn't oversaturated with tons of Last Epoch content yet, so much of what you'll see will be with a fresh set of green eyes. Those with inquisitive natures will be satisfied. And I know that's a common trait in those who enjoy these type of games. Don't let it be spoiled by leaping into one of the build guides on the internet. Instead, if you'd like a bit of a preview, educate yourself on the classes and the style of customization. All Trades Jack did an excellent class rundown on his channel. That's as far as I'd go. Otherwise, click off any other videos for that initial launch and craft something on your own. I know, you might be a Path of Exile player claiming blasphemy, or a Diablo 4 player who might be a tad frightened of a game that is more complex than Diablo. However, I have excellent news for both camps and everyone in between. Making your own build is actually incredibly possible in 11th Hour Games' first title. But before we discuss that fully, I would like to ask, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the sub notification bell. More content like it is on the way. Thank you for the consideration, and if you do like the video, the support. Alrighty, let's get back to it. Yes. Importantly, Last Epoch is a game that allows you to go in blind, construct your own build, zip back and forth in time during the campaign, and eventually reach the end game. How, you might be wondering? Firstly, classes and their passives, skills, and masteries are well explained in Last Epoch. Without following a guide on Max Roll or Icy Veins or a YouTuber's channel, you should be able to smash together a specific class, their array of passives, a set of their skills, and one of their masteries to make a build that will work. I'm serious about this. And this is coming from someone who struggled for the longest while to make his own builds work in Path of Exile. No! Not again! This is also obviously because Last Epoch's character customization systems are not complicated, but they do have depth when combined all together. But they're not complex. Paths through skill trees are sensible and can easily be grouped with other skills to curate a compelling skill set. If you take a bit of time to read the skills and mechanics, you're actually quite likely to create a successful build. Shocking, I know. Secondly, respecking is quite easy in Last Epoch. While you cannot change your class or the eventual mastery or subclass of the class you choose, you can reorient everything else for no cost. The only inhibition to respecking is the need to re-level up the new skills a bit when you respec. That's all. This allows for easy experimentation for players new and old alike. If you're struggling with something in particular, you can take a bit of time and play around with your skills to try and solve it. For example, If you're constantly running out of mana, check out your skill trees. There might be a solution somewhere along the path. This happened to me during my first playthrough of Last Epoch. If you're struggling with clearing packs, there's likely some nodes in your skill trees that help obliterate packs with ease. Redesign some of your skills. Try something new. Third, crafting is super streamlined, at least initially, and can help you tune up your character where and when needed. You're constantly picking up various runes and crafting pieces, and they build up rapidly. They're also stored away in your forge with the click of a button too. Then when you visit the crafting area, whether or not you can add an affix, upgrade an affix, or change around an item entirely is well explained and easy. For a comparison to PoE, you can essentially craft using crafting bench mods on all your items with multiple prefixes and suffixes. It's rad and lovingly self-explanatory, a nice step down from PoE for a bit. Fourth, if you do end up failing, you can always easily retreat to a build guide. There's a slew of content creators who have been making build guides for Last Epoch for years now, and I bet there are more incoming too. Some established ones in the Last Epoch community include Dreadful, an action RPG. Wild he secured that name. Dreadful definitely seems to be the most in-depth and consistent Last Epoch build maker out there. If you need help, check his videos out. Nonetheless, give it a go blind first. Last Epoch launches once. It's a game you can experience easily crafting your own build, and if you do, I'm confident you'll have a much better experience than straight copying a blasting build from day one. Tell me, am I wrong? I know the ARPG genre is full of people who enjoy annihilating everything from the outset, but it's difficult to deny the magical feeling you have when playing a game for the first time and sculpting something of your own. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and Tala Moana, Travelers and Exiles.